All you guys that are down with Yohanan, you're going to look like stupid asses. Guaranteed. Most I ain't dealing with that dude. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew 23 and 9. Excuse me. Excuse me. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. You know, that's what the scriptures say, you know. Call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. So for them to call Yohana their father, they're going off right there in the scripture.
Yeah, and this guy, Polite, to get back to them dudes, him and the rest of them clowns, they're nothing but what's called sophists. You know, I said sophist last week. The pronunciation is sophist. Sophist doesn't matter. But they're sophists. It says, this is the definition of the word sophist again. It says, one skilled in elaborate and devious argumentation. Because all it is just words. You know, words being thrown back, different dates that they get from the white man, different information that they get from the white man, thrown together, you know, and to make it sound good. It says, number 2, sophist, any of a group of professional 5th century BC Greek philosophers and teachers who speculated on theology, metaphysics, and the sciences, and who were later characterized by Plato as superficial manipulators of rhetoric and dialect. And that's all you are. You're just manipulators of rhetoric and dialect. You know, like you have them different books or different accounts that you quote from, you know, that supposedly precede the Bible, which, you know, you had written documents that were written before the Bible, but the Bible is the book that was given to the men of the Lord, you know, because the bottom line, which man was actually alive or was actually looking into the heavens while the heavens and the earth and the trees and the light and all these things were created, and the moon and all that? Which man physically on the earth actually looked up and seen that? Nobody, because man was created on the 5th day. That's why Paul said, matter of fact, if I may, this is the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, real quick. You know, because you guys are basing all this stuff that you're getting basically off the white man, information that he dug up, dates that he's given you. You know, you go on Google, all that stuff you're getting off of Google is stuff that the white man put together. His so-called scholar
gave you. Hey, if it wasn't for the white man, you, especially you, Cyrus Suiton, not ready, you should thank the white man every day, even though you're still lost. Because everything that you go into about the ancient Egyptians, the white man broke it down, man. That name that you call yourself, Cyrus Suiton Seti, all right, that you, when you speak about the different pharaohs, Tutmos the second and Ramesses the first and Ramesses the second and Tutankhamun and all these different people. The white man broke it down, man. Ain't no black man. Dr. Ben didn't break down a damn thing, man. He sat his ass down and he got his notebook out and he took notes when the white man taught him. All those black African, African studies that are in the white man's universities, all right? You sat down and learned from your God, the white man, okay?
I got a name to back the elder. One of those names from the white man is George Andrew Reisner. Now, George Andrew Reisner, born November 5th, 1867, and died 1942, June 6th, was an American archaeologist of ancient Egypt. All right? And he was also called the foremost authority on ancient Egypt. This guy, George Andrew Reisner.
I thought it was Dr. Ben.
and if you look at him, he's a straight up so-called white man. All right. As a matter of fact, here's his pedigree. All right. He also created a list of Egyptian viceroys of Kush. He found the tomb of Queen Hetepheres I, the mother of King Khufu, Cheops in Greek, who built the Great Pyramid at Giza. During this time, he also explored Mastabas, Arthur Merton, a fellow member of Cairo Rotary Club, remarked in 1936 in the aftermath of the Abu Tiyu discovery that Reisner enjoys an unrivaled position not only as the outstanding figure in present-day Egyptology. I'm going to read that again. This guy says that Reisner enjoys an unrivaled position, and we can look that word up, unrivaled, not only as the outstanding figure in present-day Egyptology. So this guy is well thought of in the Egyptology circles, this guy George Andrew Reisner, but also as a man whose soundness of judgment and extensive general knowledge are widely conceded. All right, so this is the establishment boy of Egyptology. This guy here, George Andrew Reisner, and when you look at him, he's a so-called white man. So that backs up what Elder Tar said, man.
Yeah, but like the man that broke down the symbols, which they call hieroglyphs and so forth, that broke down all these different symbols, was a man by the name of John Francis Champion. I mean, you can look him up. And the way he broke it down is he had to have gone back to the Greek. He had to have gone to the library in Alexandria, Egypt, named after Alexander the Great. Because what they did when the so-called, by the way, who took down the Egyptians ultimately? It was the Ptolemy dynasty that took down the Egyptians, all right? And they built, during that period of time of the Ptolemies' rulership, they had built a library of all the nations or empires or kingdoms that Alexander the Great and his 4 generals took down. And what they did was they took all the writings and they took and enslaved the translators, man. So how did this guy Champion get the breakdown? Because he probably went to the Rosetta Stone, because the Rosetta Stone, in order for you to understand the so-called Egyptian hieroglyphs, you have to know Greek. And on the Rosetta Stone, you had the top of it. It was written in the Egyptian writings, which the white man calls hieroglyphs. That's the white man's word. And then after that, you line under that, you had the Greeks. So what happened when they took all the writings and books from Egypt, which is Mizraim, all right? Biblically, it's Mizraim. Egypt is a Greek term. And all the other writings, that's why you have museums today. If you go to certain museums, they'll actually have paintings and wall sculptures and writings of these different former kingdoms. Why? Thanks to the library in Alexandria, Egypt. Because they took all their culture, all their books, all their writings, and they translated it into their tongues, so they can learn their enemies. All right?
Right. This is John Francis Champollion. It says, was a French scholar